Up next on America Honors Our Veterans, our nation's oldest living World War II Medal of Honor recipient shares the story of his heroic actions at the Battle of Iwo Jima, telling the stories of those who've served, how one national project is collecting and preserving those memories, and how you can help. Plus, veterans take an emotional journey to the National Museum of the United States Air Force. And what's a celebration without music? The prestigious Army Field Band joins us for a special performance. All this plus some special shout-outs on America Honors Our Veterans.
America Honors Our Veterans, presented by National University, a veteran-founded nonprofit offering tuition discounts for active duty service members and dependents. Learn more at nu.edu. By USAA, proudly serving the military community. What you're made of, we're made for. And this program is produced in partnership with DAV, fulfilling our promises to the men and women who served.
Welcome to America Honors Our Veterans. I'm your host, Lauren Wonko. For the next 30 minutes, we'll bring you stories of valor, honor, and inspiration. The Congressional Medal of Honor is the highest and most prestigious decoration that may be given to American service personnel for acts of valor. There are only 67 living recipients of the medal, including Herschel Woody Williams, who at 98 is the oldest living Medal of Honor recipient, recognized for his heroic acts of bravery during the World War II Battle of Iwo Jima. Woody, what an honor. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
When did you enlist in the military, and what led you to make that decision?
Well, I, like so many others, thought our country was in danger of being taken over by someone I'd never even heard tell of. And that's really why I joined, was to protect the gift of freedom and America.
Williams, along with thousands of other Marines, was sent to the small Japanese island of Iwo Jima. Williams' company commander sought volunteers to help clear a path for Marine tanks to safely advance, and Williams was one of those who answered the call. Your brave actions on Iwo Jima likely helped save countless Marine lives on February 23, 1945, and I believe you volunteered for the mission you were recognized for. What was going through your mind at that moment?
I can't really tell you that, except that I'd been trained by other Marines to do a job. So as far as I was concerned, I was just doing the thing that I was supposed to do.
When did you finally realize the significance of what you had done?
My first sergeant told me that I was to visit the general's headquarters, but he told me I was coming back to the United States and I was going to the White House. It was at that point that I realized I was receiving something that I had never even heard of or didn't know how it was going to affect my life.
Now, you mentioned that at the time you didn't know what the Congressional Medal of Honor was. For those who still don't, tell us what it is.
You can't recommend yourself for the Medal of Honor. They say you do something a little extraordinary. They call it something above the call of duty, and all of them fit that category. And they're not thinking of themselves. I wasn't thinking of me. I was thinking of others. And that's true with every Medal of Honor recipient. They don't do it for themselves. They do it for somebody else.
After receiving the medal, the Commandant of the Marine Corps spoke to you and the other Medal of Honor recipients that day. What were his words to you, and how did they impact how you may have viewed the Medal of Honor up until that point?
Commandant A.A. Vandegrip was his name, and he was a Medal of Honor recipient from Guadalcanal. So he knew what impact it was going to have on our lives. One thing he did say that stuck, and it never went away: that medal does not belong to you. It belongs to all of those Marines who never got to come home. I remember those words very, very well. At that time, I didn't realize that 2 Marines had sacrificed their lives protecting mine. I learned that later, which gave it even more impetus than it did the day that he spoke those words.
You've said in the past that as a recipient of the Medal of Honor, you feel an obligation to uphold. What is that obligation, and how has it driven your actions and how you've lived your life since World War II?
Well, I felt like I had to provide a service. I had to repay in some way all the advantages that had come my way. I thought, well, maybe we can do something that would honor all the family members, anyone related to that individual that sacrificed their life. So that's why we got the foundation to start with. And it's the cities, the community that's doing this, not Woody Williams. We're just a call. We're just giving them a method by which they can get this done and pay tribute to those Gold Star families in their community.
Woody, this has been such an honor. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Lauren, for having me. I appreciate you're real good. You must be a professional.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Up next, a special project dedicated to making sure that the memories and experiences of our veterans are kept alive forever.
It's a great honor for me to wish all of our veterans Happy Veterans Day. Thank you so much for the service that you have given to our country, and thank you for the sacrifices that your families have made in order for you to provide that service. We're a great country because of you.
For over 20 years, the Veterans History Project at the Library of Congress has worked to collect and preserve the personal recollections of our veterans from World War I and beyond, offering precious insight into the brave men and women who choose to wear the cloth of our nation and ensuring that their sacrifices may never be forgotten.
Memory, remembrance, collective memory. These are all themes that really connect participants of the Veterans History Project to the Library of Congress.
The Veterans History Project is one of the most popular projects at the Library of Congress. We are underneath the umbrella of the American Folk Life Center, and our mission is to collect, preserve, and make accessible the firsthand remembrances of our nation's veterans and also Gold Star family members.
The genesis of this was Father's Day weekend at the family picnic table with my father, who is Korea generation veteran, my uncle, his brother, who flew bomber missions in the Pacific during World War II. And they started sharing their stories. And I told them, wait while I ran into the house to get the family video cam in order to record it so that my sons will have that with them when they get older and can appreciate what their grandfather and great uncle did. And I got to thinking, given today's technology, we need to be doing this nationwide. Every family should be reaching out to the veterans in their family, asking them to share their stories of what it was like to serve our country and the sacrifice that they made in order to preserve an important part of American history.
Initially, it was World War I, World War II, and Korea focused. It now goes through the current conflicts, and we have over 111,000 individual stories. And those are accumulated through things like 30-minute or longer interviews, 20 or more pages of memoir, journal, or diary, 10 or more original photographs or letters. All of these together as individual buckets of participation share the narrative arc of each individual veteran's story.
Veterans often don't feel that they have the opportunity or maybe never been asked to share their story. And sharing their story, I think, is just so inspirational because you never realize the challenges that maybe a person goes through in the course of their lifetime to be able to get to where they are. My mother had been killed in Vietnam during the war, and I was picked up off the side of the road and then given to a South Vietnamese Marine. That South Vietnamese Marine then took it upon himself to bring me to the Sacred Heart Orphanage in Da Nang. A few months later, a U.S. airman named James Mitchell, who was stationed at the air base in Da Nang, they put baby number 899, known as Tran Tinach Big, into his arms. And in September of '72, I was fortunate enough to be adopted and brought over to the United States to start my new life as an American child, living the American dream.
I served in Iraq from 2006 to 2007 on my second deployment, and I was injured by a roadside bomb that they estimated to be about 700 pounds of explosives buried in the road. Now, the most significant part of this story is that I lost 3 of my very best friends. And I guess you could say America lost 3 of her heroes. So I try to make sure that they are not forgotten, for one. But, something that I share with every story, I want to make sure that people know that we lost good people that believed in what we were doing. Those voices that can't be heard today, I hope that I can be a small part of what they would want to say.
It never really occurred to me that this project was something that I should look at until they added the Gold Star Family Voices Act. And then that really yelled at me. It said, this is something that you need to do to share your family's story. And so I jumped on it. I shared the story of my father. My dad was killed in the Vietnam War in 1965. And at the time that Dad's plane was lost in the jungles of Laos, he left behind his wife, 4 children, and his wife, my mom, was expecting their 5th child. And everybody has a different memory or experience from that. But the greatest insult to this tragedy is that the 5th child, he has no memory of ever seeing his father. His father never saw him. And that is something that even today, 56 years after Dad's loss, it is painful for me, for my siblings, for my mother, but most especially it's painful for my youngest brother. When I was done, I had spilled the cup. And that's what appealed to me, is the opportunity to tell a story, hopefully to set some kind of example so that folks would look at this and say, I need to do the same thing.
We veterans have a wonderful story to tell, not just in terms of what we did over the course of our military career, but also I think the most important part is we're from all walks of life. And we all came together, all in the name of supporting and defending the Constitution of the United States. So the Veteran History Project is capturing that information, which I think is so important to the American public to understand.
Veterans Day is a moment to pause and to reflect. We like to take it as an opportunity to encourage people to at least set up an appointment to interview the veteran in your life for your benefit and for the benefit of the nation. Join us.
In honor of Veterans Day, JetBlue invited current and former service members on a special trip to the National Museum of the United States Air Force for an emotional experience they would never forget.
This is our 3rd year of doing these honor flights. They just get bigger and better. It's an amazing day seeing my fellow brothers and sisters that have served in the military, having them here, especially our veterans that are World War II vets. Hearing their stories, speaking with them, it's an honor to be one-on-one to hear what they have to say.
I was in the Air Force for 4 years, signed up in '62 and came home in '66 after I left Southeast Asia. And it was a journey that I'll never forget. Loved it. I saw a lot of things I didn't want to see, but I served my country. That's what was most important.
My dad was a gunner on a B-17 that flew out of Foggia, Italy, and he went up and was injured. He was hospitalized, and the next flight, the bombing mission that they went on, the plane was shot down. About 15 years ago, one of the gentlemen in Dad's crew found this piece of metal, which was actually from the plane that they flew in and that crashed that day. It's a great opportunity to be able to come here, especially with him, to see this relic. It kind of gave me goosebumps. So it's a great opportunity, and we appreciate JetBlue affording us that opportunity.
We often talk about the greatest generation, and let it be said that they truly were the bravest ones going into battle. They walked into battle with a very simple kind of gun, and I walked into battle with modern technology, modern optics, modern weaponry, my job was easy compared to theirs. So it's very humbling to be able to speak and be on that same plane with previous generations that really made our country what it is today.
We are very proud to have veterans from all different eras and conflicts, and we have 3 World War II veterans here today, and one of them happens to be my father, and my father has also been on every one of these flights. So as we were taking off this morning, he's asking us where are we going next year and can he be there? So fingers crossed.
This is what the day is about, honoring our own, honoring vets, honoring those who decided to stand up and come before us.
I've been in aviation all my life, and this is special.
Oh, beautiful. Stay tuned for a stirring performance from the Army Field Band when America Honors Our Veterans returns.
On behalf of National University, I want to thank all of our veterans and your families who have served. Please enjoy this day in recognition and celebration of your service.
Veterans Day is a time to reflect on the many sacrifices our men and women in uniform have made for all of those who call this great nation home. And few songs capture the grandeur of this land we hold so dear as America the Beautiful. Here to perform this beloved classic is the Army Field Band.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties, for of the fruited plain. God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea. America.
Hello, I'm Jeff Hall, National Employment Director for DAV, Disabled American Veterans. From all of us here at DAV, we want to say thank you to our military veterans, to those men and women who have selflessly answered the call and have sacrificed so much for our great country. DAV thanks all of you and wishes each of you a very happy Veterans Day.
On behalf of our CEO, Charlie Scharf, and every Wells Fargo employee, thank you for your service. We are eternally grateful for the sacrifices you've made to protect our freedom and defend our way of life. From all of us here at Wells Fargo, have a happy and healthy Veterans Day weekend.
Thank you for watching America Honors Our Veterans. To all our veterans, thank you for your service. And to everyone, stay safe and take care of one another.
America Honors Our Veterans is presented by National University, a veteran-founded nonprofit offering tuition discounts for active duty service members and dependents. Learn more at nu.edu. By USAA, proudly serving the military community. What you're made of, we're made for. And this program is produced in partnership with DAV, fulfilling our promises to the men and women who served. And made possible by the generous support of Wells Fargo. Learn more by visiting wellsfargo.com/military. This program is made possible by the generous support of the following companies. Military Made, the first subscription box with products from veteran and military spouse-owned businesses. Do good, get awesome. Visit militarymade.com to learn more. Promotional consideration provided by JetBlue, a proud employer of those who served.